There's been some major MCU news this week.
Hey guys, it's KJ,
John,
and Winnie from Disney Mom Life. Welcome to our channel where we do videos on
Disney,
motherhood and lifestyle. If you liked today's video,
give it a thumbs up,
hit the subscribe button,
ding that notification bell,
and leave us a comment. And with that, John, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, it's Monday, so we got more Disney news and updates for you. And boy, do we have some big ones.
First thing on our list, I think we're a little bummed to hear about, was that the Mary Poppins attraction that is supposed to be coming to EPCOT has been postponed, and we've even seen some rumors on social media that the Mary Poppins attraction could go away entirely, and that would really be a huge bummer. We love Mary Poppins, but even more so, it would just be another attraction in the World Showcase.
Which would be great. It would break up the getting out of the sun, the eating. You already have a ride in Mexico and Norway, and there's one coming to the France Pavilion with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure soon. So to have one in the UK, some sort of Mary Poppins, they were calling it a Mary Poppins attraction. I don't even know if we're 100% sure it was going to be a ride. I think everyone was hopeful. Everyone in the Disney universe was hopeful it was going to be a ride. But to hear that any kind of new Mary Poppins attraction has been at best postponed, at worst canceled, wasn't great to hear.
Yeah, so we were feeling a little bit bummed about that. Again, like John said, we don't know if it was going to be a
walkthrough,
right, or a ride, but I would think an attraction would be something, even if it's like a show. It would have just been something that would have been different, get you out of the sun, and something that's Disney themed in World Showcase, because a lot of the things in World Showcase are not necessarily Disney themed. I
was hoping for some sort of Mary Poppins themed take on kind of like the Peter Pan ride in Magic Kingdom, where you're suspended from a track above and you're kind of floating, kind of like on Mary Poppins' umbrella. As we mentioned in one of our previous news videos, the reimagining of Spaceship Earth is also on pause. It was supposed to have already had its last ride as it currently is, but it's going to continue in its current form. For how long, we don't know. It's on pause. Hopefully at some point they do reimagine it, because it always breathes new life into the parks anytime a ride is reimagined. And just having a ride continue in the golf ball is pretty cool, so hopefully at some point it gets reimagining, even if it's just a kind of reimagining refurb. That would be cool too, just to kind of bring it more into the present day. Moving on from EPCOT, now there are some rides that are already in existence that are closing. Rides or attractions, I should say. And the first that we were bummed to hear about was Primeval World. Now, again, we've seen on social media that this is a seasonal ride. Now, we've been there really almost every month out of the year, and it has never been closed. You pointed out, though, that the one side is usually closed. If you're facing the ride, the right side has been closed. The side closest to the shops. Almost every time we've gone, it's closed. Again, looking on social media, some people were saying that the ride breaks down a lot. I don't really ever remember it breaking down when we were there, though. No, I don't recall that either. It is one of the rides I like most in Animal Kingdom. It's a cool little Mouser roller coaster. It's the goofy Sky School version, in Disney World. It's also one of only two 48-inch height requirement rides in all of Disney World, the other one being Rock and Roller Coaster. To me, if this ride is going away permanently, Dino USA is only really now being anchored by the one dinosaur ride. So to me, the whole land is probably in need of a refurb if you're going to get rid of Primeval World. One suggestion I would have would be to remake Dinosaur in the image of the Indiana Jones ride that they have in Disneyland, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense because Disney owns the rights to Indiana Jones, and they're looking to reboot that movie franchise. So to me, what better way to do it would be to bring that Indiana Jones ride, which is the same ride as Dinosaur anyway, it's just the changes you have to make on the interior. Bring that to Animal Kingdom and then kind of reimagine that Dino USA land as some sort of adventure themed land that would tie into some kind of Indiana Jones, or maybe bring like a Temple of Doom roller coaster and use that space, that footprint that Dino USA, the carnival area, and Primeval World was taking up. I think we think the carnival area doesn't really fit with like the Disney World theming. It's kind of different than anything you see in the parks. It has more of a carnival atmosphere type look to it. We did see that Scott Gustin, who is on Twitter and usually has accurate Disney news. I just want to read his tweet to you guys just to let you know where we got this info from. And he said, Disney confirms Primeval World at Animal Kingdom, Stitch's Great Escape at Magic Kingdom, and Rivers of Light at Animal Kingdom are permanently closed. Then he goes on to say, just FYI, I confirm the news with Disney. I have not seen the memo that apparently went out to cast members,
but I assume it does not include any additional information. Now, as you guys know, John and I are cast members, but we do work in the corporate offices in New York City, so we don't always get the same memos that cast members who work in the parks get. So we did not hear about this, but we trust what Scott is saying and that he confirmed it. So he also mentioned, and what we want to share with you, is that Stitch's Great Escape is closing, which we're like, that's a long time coming. I loved it when it was the alien encounter. So I loved that as a kid. I remember being so scary, but it was great and I loved it. And then when we went on Stitch as adults, we were like, oh, we don't like this. This needs a reverb.
And in recent years, I think Stitch has just been a meet and greet over there, right?
Yeah.
So it hasn't even been the Stitch's just Great Escape ride.
Right.
Or if show ride, whatever it used to be.
Right, attraction. And with Rivers of Light, could it be something like how Illuminations went away and there was a new show? That's our guess. It is going permanently away, and John made a good point about the amphitheater.
Yeah, I don't think they recently built that huge amphitheater around the water only to bring Rivers of Light to us just to take it away and not bring some other type of water show. There's going to be some sort of nighttime show at Animal Kingdom around that water. Otherwise, that would have been a huge waste of an investment.
And going back to EPCOT and another tweet from Scott Gustin, we saw on his Twitter feed also updates about wearing masks and how you should wear them. And we think that this came to light because of food and wine. He might have even pointed that out himself on Twitter. But it really makes a lot of sense that Disney said you can remove your mask while you are eating or drinking. We talked about this, like you could be walking around the parks just drinking and keeping your masks down. So Disney did put out an official update. We saw this on Scott's Twitter, and Disney said, face coverings are required for all guests ages 2 and up and cast members. Please bring your own face coverings and wear them at all times, except when dining or swimming. You may remove your mask covering while actively eating or drinking, but you should be stationary and maintain appropriate physical distancing. We're really happy that Disney mentioned this because we could easily see how people would take advantage, especially at something like food and wine, where you're just eating from the different carts, walking around on your merry way, or drinking your water or something. We're just happy that they clarified that, and that people know now that if you're eating or drinking, you need to still maintain physical distancing and stay in one place instead of just roaming the parks with, you know, the whole chin look that people like to rock.
I'll be interested to see how many people actually abide by those rules. So if you're getting food from one of the food and wine stations, that you'll just go to a spot, eat it, stand there, remove your mask, and then when you're done, kind of walk away and put your mask back on. And not eat, walk, talk, drink, walk, talk. We'll see. It's going to be hard for them, I think, to enforce completely, but hopefully the guests take it upon themselves to follow the protocols.
Right, as we've been saying all along, people who are going to Disney, especially right now, we think most of them have to be Disney lovers like us. And you want the parks to be open, and you want this thing to go away and to get better. So we hope that if you are going to the parks, you're respecting the rules, so we can all go back to the parks that we all know and love.
Because at the end of the day, we want to keep the parks open. Speaking of a park that we hope opens soon, that's Disneyland. There is some bit of news, though, coming from the West Coast. Disney has announced that people with reservations between now and August 8th should either cancel or modify their reservations, which makes us believe that Disneyland is at least targeting an August 9th opening at best case scenario. That, as of date of recording, is only about 3 weeks from now, so that might be a little ambitious, August 9th. But at least it's what they're targeting. Whether it pushes back from there, I guess we'll see. They still need local and state approval to open Disneyland. They just celebrated the 65th anniversary only a couple of days ago, and that was their original date they were hoping to reopen. They missed that, so now it seems like August 9th is the absolute earliest to open. Whether they actually hit that mark, we'll find out. Okay, now let's move from the parks to the big and small screen. As far as movie theaters go, many of them throughout the country have not opened. Many are hoping to open sometime later this summer at best case scenario. Mulan is still scheduled to be one of the first movies that comes out August 21st, and we won't see the first MCU movie of the year until Black Widow sometime in November. That is if the MCU stays on target, and as of now, they're not, because there's been some major MCU news this week. As you may know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in Phase 4. That was supposed to start in May with Black Widow. That has now been moved to November. It was also supposed to see the release of the first Disney Plus Marvel feature, that being Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was supposed to hit Disney Plus in August. That has been pushed back, and the concerning thing about it being pushed back is that there's been no release date given. So how far it's been pushed back is anyone's guess.
Don't be upset.
Hopefully we'll still get it before Black Widow hits theaters, which is November, but there's no guarantee in that. WandaVision also seems to be a casualty of this pandemic. That was originally supposed to be released on Disney Plus in December. That has now gotten a new release schedule of early spring 2021. So WandaVision's been delayed, Falcon Winter Soldier has been delayed. That probably means that other movies and Disney Plus series will be delayed because all of this has to happen in a chain reaction of events. The MCU stories kind of bleed into the next. You can't release one if another is delayed, so this could have a ripple effect. And we could go a year between MCU storylines. The last thing we saw was Spider-Man Far From Home, and that came out in July of 2019. What am I saying? It's already been a year since we've seen something from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it looks like we're going to be waiting a lot longer. Hopefully Falcon and Winter Soldier isn't delayed much past August, but as of now, the fact that we don't have a release date, that's not a good sign.
That does it for this week's Disney news. If we missed anything, let us know in the comments down below. We love hearing from you guys. And with that, if you guys like this video,
give it a thumbs up.
Hit that subscribe button.
Ding that notification bell.
And leave us a comment. Again, if we missed something, let us know in the comments down below. And with that, we'll see you real soon. Bye.
See you at the parks as soon as we get there.
You know it's time to film? You put on your game face? Yes. Clear your throat. Get ready. And just like that, the camera's on, and now you're vocal. She's ready. Winnie doesn't feel like being on camera right now, so sorry about that. Got mommy's lipstick on your head.